Thank you so much. So I'll start like this. When you're raised and born and brought up within the context of the African family, there are certain things you'd realize. One of the major things you'd realize is the fact that our backgrounds are not entirely almost different. It seems to me that we live quite similar lives. So I'll give two examples. How many of you grew up in that home where your dad has his own special cup or his own special plates, where no matter how special the guest is, you don't give him your dad's plate, right? In some families, it's even so intentional whereby your dad's utensils are specifically kept in a different compartment in the cupboard, right? So it just shows a level of honor and reverence that is given to your dad as the man of the house. And then we go to our moms. Quite special, amazing people. Did your mom ever do this to you? Whereby you wanted to cry, you were crying, you wanted to follow her to a party. And then she tells you, oh, just go inside, go and change your slippers. Wear good clothes. And by the time you came outside, Otilo, right? And one of the things I realized with our moms is that our moms have different weapons of mass destruction. Yes. Every time you err and every time you make a mistake, there is always a way that they correct you. So now, in my opinion, I think that there are three bases by which an African mom is going to correct her child. The first basis, how deep is the offense? What did you do? You know, some certain circumstances or some certain things that you do can be bad, can be very, very bad, and can be worse. So whether it is worse or not, it will determine whether or not your mom is going to beat you. Does that make sense? The second thing that will make your mom beat you is if this is not the first time or the second time or the third time that she has been telling you that same thing. The third circumstances by which your mom is going to beat you is how far are you from her when you have committed the crime. If you are still within crime scene, I promise you, you will not like yourself. So let me give you some of the weapon of mass destruction that she uses. If you are very close to your mom, she can use something that I like to call a backhand. That one, she can turn her face to the west and you will find out that her hand has been forgotten on your face. If you are not close enough, for some reason, I don't know why every mother just had that skill. They know how to knock you right at the center of your brain. Have you ever been so hardly knocked and you felt like your brain was moving? And if you probably happen to be very far, one of the skills that she would use is to take off her slippers and throw it at you. And for some reason, they are always on target. They never miss. Another weapon of mass destruction. If she sees that you are far, she will use one of the things I like to call emotional storytelling. Which means you are very far, but she's at the door. And she's like, come now, she better say I will not beat you. Don't go. Let me tell your neighbor, say don't go. And then when she sees that her power or your power is becoming very big and she can't handle you as it were, she would report you to one of the Egmont in the street or in the house, and they're always jobless, so they're always around. So whenever you err, they'll just mention their name, and somehow fear will enter into your heart at the time, and then you will have sense. The reason I'm using this as the context of my conversation is because I want to talk about how we move from pain to purpose. I'll give you 4 things to share this morning, and I want to pen this down. I think that there are 4 levels of pain, and I'll use the idea that our moms beat us to get something done. 4 levels of pain. The first level of pain is when you anticipate the pain. Have you ever entered into your room and you could tell that your mom is going to beat you? You didn't know what you did, but you could tell. Something will happen. So the first point is the anticipation of pain. The second point is the pain of the pain. You knew that this thing was coming and it hits you and you were pained that it hits you. The impact of the pain did you something that you didn't like. The third level of pain is what I'd like to call evading the pain. Evading the pain. And then the fourth level of pain is what I'd like to call breaking through the pain. So let's go back to number 1. The number 1 is what? Anticipating what? Now it's about to get a little bit deep. You see, over the years I've been privileged to speak to teenagers and young people as young as you are. And I've noticed one thing. It's almost like young people bring themselves to a point where they subconsciously think that nothing good can come out of them. Some people have learned how to subconsciously come to that point in their lives. That what is the need? Especially when you come out of a country like Nigeria. Nigeria knows how to give you depression even without you asking for it. Yes. For example, some of you have senior brothers that have not yet still gotten a job and they did well in school. And if you're not careful, the society and the system will paint for you a kind of picture that you were not supposed to have. In fact, you can numb the possibilities of your mind because of what your environment is looking like. Are you getting what I'm saying? And it's even so bad. Some of our parents actually aid this disadvantage. I would never forget one day I was walking by a street and then a mom said, "My pikin no get brain for book." And I'm like, what do you mean? And now the boy is coming out with F9 and you are shocked. Why should you be shocked? You anticipated it. Let me ask you a very powerful question. Have you ever had a dream that was bad? And when the dream happened, you told yourself, "I knew it was going to happen." Pause before you say yes. I'm saying that if you're also not careful, you can have a perspective of your life that things might not work out well for you because of the kind of family that you are in, because of the kind of nation that you come from. And when things finally go bad, you would not fight it because you have accepted it. The second point. The second point is what? We can do better than that. The second point is what? The pain of the pain. I'll tell you a very powerful story. This happened to me many years ago. Now, I grew up, everybody please listen to this. This will change your life. I grew up thinking that we're wealthy. And that was because in our house, in our street, we were the only family in our street that had a LED TV. So Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, many children would come to our house. I'm talking about 15, 20 children. And somehow my mom was going to feed all of them. Just imagine that. So I grew up feeling like we're wealthy. It was the first time in my life. At the time, my dad was working in 7-Up. So there was this Indian man, a friend of his at work, that was having a birthday party. So we went to the party. And I'm not lying to you. I'm not talking about inside the house. I'm saying before we stepped into the house, on the floor was a marble ground. Have you ever seen those kind of marble ground or marble floor where you can almost directly, specifically see yourself on the floor? It was that clear. I'll tell you the funny part of the story. We went into the house. They asked us what we were going to eat. I said I was going to eat eba. And that was the first time in my life I realized that people were actually turning eba with honey. Before they brought the soup, which was vegetables, we were eating the eba. By the time I came back to Agege, I knew Wepo. You don't understand? And this was how I knew. When I came back on a Saturday and I saw all the children gathered again in our house and they were laughing, I was like, what is funny? You people are going through a lot. And I'm saying this because at some point in your life, many of you would have to stand and look at the very circumstances that gave birth to you in the face and say, I understand that this is where I am, but this is not where I'm going to be. Are you getting what I'm saying? I don't want to spend too much time. Let's go to point 3. Point 3 is what? Say it boldly again. I'll tell you another story. Many years ago, I had a cut just close to my forehead here. And then I didn't tell my mom. I had no idea how bad it was. So I slept. And the very idea why I didn't tell my mom was because I knew. You know how, again, African mothers, you people should change. Have you ever been so scared of telling your mom something because you know they will beat you again for doing that? I'm in pain. No, you are adding pain to the pain. So that's why I didn't tell her. So at midnight, I'd gone to sleep. I had no idea that I was already bleeding. Half the bed was soaked. And the reason I'm saying this is because many of you, there are certain pains that you are currently going through and you have learned how to numb that pain. There are certain things that you might be going through. You must learn how to find somebody to communicate to. You are still young to carry some of the burdens you think you can carry. About 2 years ago, I stumbled upon the statistics that blew my mind. Now, the statistics said about 50% of the young women who were raped, I'm sorry this is very sensitive, but I think I should share. About 50% of the young women who were raped, they were raped while they were teenagers. And about 80% of these women who were raped while they were teenagers, they had nobody to tell or they did not tell anybody at all. And many times it was because the person who did it, the he-goat, who did it, at some point threatened them not to ever tell anybody. The reason I'm telling you this, again, there are certain burdens that you are too young to bear. Are you getting what I am saying? The last point is what? Is what? I'll tell you something. One of the major things that can change your life for good is for you to find something you are very passionate about and stick your life on it until you see the end of it. You know, when Her Excellency was talking. She mentioned consistency. I found out if you are not consistent enough, you would never see the other side of greatness. Some of us, we are good, but we are temporarily good. It means you are 100% today, and tomorrow you are 50%. Next tomorrow you are 30%. It's because you have not decided to give your best to that thing. Some of us come from families where you have no right to be sleeping and snoring on your bed by 11 o'clock in the morning. Some people were born out of benefits. Some people will labor into it. Are you getting what I am saying? The future is too bright for you to think that you can amount to nothing. So whether you are from the slums, whether you are from the palace, there is a responsibility upon your life that everything that is in you will be seen on the earth. And I've noticed something. One of the major things that would help every great mind. In fact, I've noticed many of the bright minds that the world celebrates today, they came out of some of the harshest conditions that you can ever imagine. Don't think people just suddenly arrived. People have a track record of consistent, harsh environment that produced that greatness. Have you studied how golds are made? You will see that gold will pass through different layers of fire for you to finally arrive at that point where you can look at it and be happy at it. So make no mistake. Whether Nigeria is good or bad, you must come to a point where you make a decision. Because I'm coming out of this nation, I will be one of the reasons why this nation will be proud of me. Are you getting what I'm saying? I'll tell you something and then I'll leave here. Many people who think outside of the box are those who are not conscious of the box. I'm telling you, you are not as limited as you think you are. There are so many opportunities that you can't see, and I'm hoping that you begin to see them. Victor Jeremiah is my name. Thank you very much. See you at work.
Please, if you want to jam your hands, please jam your hands together for him. Thank you so much. Please, sir, can we have you come back on stage very quickly I want a teenager to give me a take home very quickly. Just one teenager, a take home. Who's saying something? A take home? Okay, I have someone here. Very quickly. It's beyond just coming to this conference. You must take something home.
My name is Olale Onolu.
Name of the school?
From African Church Grammar School. Alright, so my take home is that many people who think outside the box are people who are not mindful of the box.
Please, can we give her a round of applause? Thank you so very much. All right, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we would like to make welcome the father of the convener in person of Apostle Dada. Please, Daddy, please come up stage as he presents his award to this great speaker. Thank you so much, sir. We did enjoy your section.
Dear Father in heaven, about time to take over. You don't stay I trouble you. Back down to Lucifer. I know the follow pastor, they be from my
check.
Father.
Good morning, everyone. Permit me to use this medium to thank Her Excellency, because I may not have this opportunity to come up here again today. Thank you very much, ma. God bless you. Trusting Conference 2025 Outstanding Appreciation Award presented to Victor Oba at the 2025 Trusting Conference themed Teens Who Influence, from the heart of every teenagers and team member of Trusting Community, with gratitude for your service. Today, dated this day, 3rd October 2025.
Father, say me I don't busy my call. I won't focus on you, on God.